In the land of Freya, darkness spreads its wings. A corruption so deep, it poisons everything. But in the shadows, a group of heroes arise. Bound by courage, they'll never compromise. Through treacherous valleys and mountains high, they fight for justice, never questioning why. Their hearts ablaze, united they stand against the forces of evil hand in hand. Oh, hear the legends of our sacrifice. In the face of darkness, we will rise with valor in our hearts. We'll take a stand, defend us on Freya, we'll save the land.
Gotta wait for the part. Evening, everybody. Matt Geary for Geek Pride's Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, The Legend of Our Sacrifice. With me tonight, we have Michael as Tharval Eldon.
Buenas noches.
We have Jace as Brother Gadden.
Oh, smash him!
We have Lecky as Bartholomew Pringle.
Here I am, someone paid the bail.
Mark as Lance.
Oh, weep, gran, oh, weep, nillybone.
And we have Saren. Sorry, we have Vic as Saren Sanguine.
Please make me be sick. Please.
Puke. Got a little something on your chin, darling.
Okay. So
Not to poke fun at it, but bulimia.
What happened last time? So we have the wizard folk at the sanctuary of devotion. They are currently trying to. You're trying to figure out who the infiltrator is. You've got the book, the registry book. What else would be called? Like a manifest?
Ledger.
Ledger. That's the word I'm looking for. Ledger. You got the ledger.
Heath Ledger.
And yes, you got the Heath Ledger, and it is, and you've basically got you've got a few people on there which you are reading through, and there's one that has sort of kind of stuck out, and you've realised that maybe this person is the person you're looking for. So you've sort of you were about to go on your way to the archives to see if you can ask some questions about this person who is called, if I can get it on screen here, it is
In something, wasn't it?
it is where is he?
Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo.
He is called it's here. Yes, Vin Velius. Vin Velius. And he is Velius arrived in Temple under the guise of a humble pilgrim seeking redemption after a lifetime of misdeeds. His dark eyes and quite quiet demeanor have made him a shadowy presence, and while he performs the tasks assigned to him without complaint, there is an unsettling air about him. He is rarely seen speaking to others, but is often found lingering in the temple archives. So yeah, that's what he's been doing, and that's what you're looking for. As for the rest, Lance and Eldrith have been off in Silkside, Waterside. They have it's been a very long time since Lance was last there. In fact, that was where he started his journey from this campaign, and sort of bumped into a strange fellow who was drinking on his own in a ruined village at the edge of the corruption's territory, and basically established that this halfling who had obviously been losing his mind, had been cradling a seedling or a spore or whatever you want to call it of a false hydra, something that the party, or some of them at least, have sort of encountered before. He has, destroyed it, but with the destruction, a sort of little laughing ember has sort of kind of gone off in the wind somewhere, and who knows, could be back, might not be back, who knows. He has then taken Cyril to into custody, I guess, because you've sort of bound him so he doesn't do anything silly, and you're sort of making your way back with him to break the good news to Arno about finding his brother. Is there anything else I've missed from that? That's pretty much it, isn't there? There wasn't anything else.
I just want to clarify something.
Yeah.
So you said this guy in the ledger stuck out. Did he stick out as far as Seren's nipples whenever Nigel's about?
Oh, God. Boo.
It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? It really is.
Oh, good old
Look,
Nigel.
I didn't realise that there was a Sunday
have
roast happening on a
never-
Thursday.
I've never regretted a spur of the moment decision more.
We're not. It's okay. Nigel's gonna be fine. It won't be a thing. It won't be smashing.
Unless you murder him. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so you, the rest, so Saren, Tharavel, and Saravel had made their way down to Whispering Shore, the location of a great victory for Freyan forces against the corruption. They've come across a battlefield that's been, vacant for a fair bit of time, but, looks just as it probably would have at the end of the battle. Nobody's sort of been down there. Ruined bits of armor and old battle flags. You got destroyed sort of landing ships and, driftwoods, flotsam and jetsam all over the place. In the distance, they've seen a shadow, picking up things from the bodies on the beach. They've gone over to investigate, and a little old lady has welcomed them and asked if they could help. She's then offered them kindly a meal, offered them some food from her stew, and then she's sort of pointed over to a rocky outcrop where there magically appeared a sort of stew pot. They've obviously thought something was slightly up. They've made their way over anyway, and then whatever sort of magic was within this hag, this creature, has made it, this sort of gripped the party. Tharavel and Saravel were, managed to sort of shake it off, and saw what was in front of them was effectively this large sort of maud sea creature that was trying to force feed Saren effectively. Unfortunately for Saren, she did not pass many of her rolls, and therefore was force fed some semen goo into her body, and before the twins could stop her from eating the stew, and they managed to see the beast off, kill it before it sort of made its way into the sea. But like I said, unfortunately, Saren has had a mouthful and isn't feeling great. They tried to make her sick, I think, by making her drink some seawater, but unfortunately it didn't really work. The last thing that happened was that they were searching the beach for sort of artifacts that they could use to help sort of help Arno and Brother Gadden and Bartholomew or Barty to cast some spells. They found a sword. The sword was, if I can find it, The sword was... That's battles. That's people. No, I can't remember. Anyway, it's a cursed sword. It was a cursed sword, and Ceravel, who's sort of aware of these things, having sort of been impressed into the corruption forces when he was younger, has basically said, this is a very dangerous weapon, and he sort of covered it with one of his blankets while he's been taking it. As that's happened, Saren started hearing some voices, more like seemed to be the voice of the little lady, beckoning her to help her by killing them all. And that's pretty much where we left it with them. So
I'm gonna need an alt.
So-
Like the little leprechaun talking to Ralph.
yeah.
Hey, we
What
survived.
do you have to do, Ralph? Burn them all.
We survived a psychotic possessed dragonborn before. I'm sure without killing him. Bad enough.
Okay, so we will start with that then. So, Saren, you have sort of started hearing a few voices. They're faint. You feel unwell, I would say. But you're not. I would say you're not 100% sure if it's because of the seawater, if it's because of what you're eating, or it has something to do with these sort of kind of voices in your head. But that's as it is. So we'll go from there. You three on the beach. Yeah, carry on.
I'm assuming that we have to start heading back. Then we basically came for a relic, and then we.
Is the sword the relic we're looking for, or is that just?
I think
like,
you were
something
just
that we
looking
should take
for
because
a
it's
relic
dangerous?
of some sort, I think.
Yeah. Something appropriate to fit the bill, not a specific item.
So, basically, I mean, we can start heading back again. As far as I'm aware.
Heading
Unless
back or
we go
stabbing back?
Unless we go and meet up with Lance as to where he is. He's on the way, is he not?
Well, you don't know. He is technically. Well, there's a point where you could cross over, but you're not sort of 100% sure if you'll sort of time it correctly or not.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think in that case, then. So Ceravel has, he's obviously wrapped up the sword, and he's put it in his pack, and he's said, to the other two, we're not to touch this with bare skin, or with the hands. It's a cursed.
Ah, yeah, I've
weapon.
got it now. It's called the Blighted Blade. It's called the Blighted Blade.
So, is there anything that he actually knows about it other than what we already know?
He knows it's dangerous, because it's obviously a corrupted weapon. So it's a long sword with a blade that seems to be forged from dark rusted metal with veins of strange greenish black substance running through it. It whispers faintly, when grasped. But apart from that, what it does when you hold it and wield it, he's not sure, because he's obviously either he's not. He hasn't said anything other than about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Can Tharavel do a history check on it?
You can if you wish. Yeah, you've got no real recollection of anything like that in your travels.
Okay. But then basically, I would say, other than what Ceravel's already said to them, they start to head back to where they were.
Okay.
Check that out.
Saren, I would like you to give me a wisdom save, please.
Oh God.
Same stab time, same stab channel.
Okay.
Oh,
You start hearing the voices more. It sounds more like your mother now. And there's something about this area that just makes you want to stay. You don't want to leave. You start walking towards the body of the creature where Tharaval and Ceravel killed earlier.
okay. I just kind of like. I don't really know that I'm doing it, but I just kind of start walking over.
Yeah, there's
like,
something
almost
about
absent-mindedly.
yeah. As you sort of get closer, you just feel this sort of deep sorrow. Like it's coming from the pit of your stomach, and it's sort of kind of rising up. You feel sad and overwhelmed by this. You start to weep as you approach.
Okay.
The
like,
figure in
fear
front the
away,
figure in
like-
front of you is no longer the figure of a sea creature or a beast. It's an old woman. It's not your mother per se, but it could be your mother. It could be any of these poor souls who have been ravaged by this war. She's lying there with arrows sticking out of her. That sort of a bit peace on her face, but just shock in her eyes that this would have happened to her. You have this sort of influx of emotion coming through you, that she's being murdered, and for what?
I sort of kneel down next to the body, and I I'm not full on completely like gone, lost it sobbing, but I've got tears running down my face. I was like, it's not fair. What do I do this for? We could without doing this.
Tharavel and Ceravel are they're going to walk off, and they sort of turn and see Darren, sort of walking over to the body and crying, and they sort of look at each other like something's not right here.
Yeah, Saren doesn't cry.
So they walk over to Saren. They keep their distance, and they sort of spread apart and everything like that, just to keep an eye on her. And are you okay, Saren? Is everything all right? Why do you weep for this monster?
A monster! Look, it's a harmless old lady, and what is this for?
Do the twins, do they still see it as a monster, or do they see it as the old lady?
Yeah, you see it as the monster. It's only her who's seeing it as this old woman.
Would the fact that they're seeing it as a monster, and she's saying that she's seeing it as an old lady, would they sort of pick up that there's something still
Yeah, you're
Sarah?
well, there's obviously she's saying something that you don't, so there's obviously something odd there.
That is not an old lady. That your mind is playing tricks with you. The demon stew that you have been given has twisted your mind, and you're not yourself. You're seeing things that are not there. That monster tried to take control of us for reasons we do not know.
Monster, that's an old lady. We killed an old lady.
More specifically, they killed the old lady.
Well, yeah. You are the monsters, not me. You killed her.
Roll me a Constitution, Saren.
specialist subject.
uh, you feel
this
like you
character.
feel sort of sick, and you feel something sort of moving around in your gut. You're sick. You spew up this sort of sea green bile beside the body. Tharval and Ceravel, roll me a perception check.
One each.
Yep.
Okay, that's Tharball. And that is Ceravel.
Yep. Okay. You notice her eyes sort of flash the same sort of green. You also notice that on her sort of neck, these sort of kind of, you can only sort of describe them as gills start appearing on her neck.
On Saren?
On Saren's neck, yes.
Oh, for God's sake.
Okay.
Please, I like this character.
I'm officially going on.
Let's see what we can do. So the brothers sort of approach like very cautiously, and they sort of see the eyes and the gills, and obviously she's puked up this sort of green bile, and they assume that she's sort of gradually being transformed into something that the cause of the sludge or whatever it is. So they need to sort of act quickly. What can we do?
The drunken sailor.
That's not gonna work. No, none of those.
Oh, if Nigel were here.
So, Tharavel sort of he sort of is from one side, sort of, and he tries to get the attention sort of on him, and as he's doing that, Ceravel sort of approaches from behind, and he sort of takes out a rope.
Roll perception, Saren.
Love of God, please fail. I like my character, damn it.
So did the old lady.
Yeah, I guess you sort of.
If she's being distracted.
Yeah, I think you're probably not grasping. You're
I'm not with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure you sort of you're if they're close to you, you're going to be seeing things, but if you're distracted, then probably sort of not. So okay, that's fine. Yeah, you carry on.
So the voices in her head
Kansas
drowning
City, Kansas City Shuffle. She looks left, they go right. So they again, like Tharavel sort of approaches like again from the front, sort of slowly and cautiously, and he's like, everything's going to be okay, Saren. We need to get you back home to get you some medicine. You're not yourself. And as he sort of does this, Ceravel sort of wraps the rope around her.
Roll me.
Around her body.
Roll me dex. You can roll me a dex then, I guess.
Me or Ceravel?
Whoever's
sorry?
trying to wrap the rope around her.
Yeah, Ceravel. dex save, or would it be sleight of hand, or acrobatics?
Sleight of hand seems to make more sense, I guess.
There, I'll be the rope.
Oh,
God. Oh, Cerevel has an inspiration.
Damn it. No, boo. Okay. All right. You'll have advantage because you're distracted. Saren, roll perception. Just to see if you sort of grasp what's going on.
Oh God.
Okay. Roll me a dex. So roll me a dex save to see if you sort of kind of get out of the way before they hog tie you, basically.
Free rascal.
Can one of you not just knock me on the back of the head? Damn it.
Right. Okay. So she as sort of well, you know, because you did, because that sleight of hand, you get the 22, and she only got a 21 on the dex. She's not going to get advantage, so I'd say just about that he sort of gets her.
They have
And
to hit
like,
the dog
hey,
piler.
what's going on? And I kind of realised like a second too late.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got me like tied up.
So it gets you, and you are now completely. You can see it that they're here to do the same thing as they've done to this poor old lady to you. These are the people. These two are the reason. These two are the reason for this death and destruction. You just want them to leave you alone. Your anger is just sort of, it's sort of coming from the pit of your stomach. You can just feel it sort of as you as they start to try and tie you up.
I just start hissing and like trying and making just really horrible angry sounds. There's no words. I'm not angry. It's just hissing and growling and like gnashing teeth. I'm so mad.
Okay. Give me a strength check. I'm assuming you're trying to help. As soon as he throws the rope on her, you're going to run in and try and grapple her. Yeah. Okay. So roll me a strength, and you can have it at advantage. Saren, you can have a strength roll straight, but you get a +2 to your roll.
So strength phrase.
Yeah, but I'll give you a +2 on it because you're.
Oh no!
Ouch.
The dice gods really don't want
Ouch.
you to.
Oh my god! I like this character.
I'm trying my best here. I really am.
D20 hates me.
Okay, so like Tharavel sort of jumps on you, and Cerevel starts trying to sort of tie you up, and you just, the rage within you just sort of boils over as you sort of throw them both off, with an unknown strength coming from you. You sort of kind of push them back. Sort of Cerevel goes crashing into some of the driftwood. Tharavel goes like face first into sort of kind of into the sea, where the, sorry, what's it called when the
Surf.
the surf, yeah, that's it, into the surf, that's what I'm looking for.
Flotsam.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you start to sort of crick your neck slightly. The sort of kind of more guttural sort of sound starts coming from you, sort of echoed by this elderly sort of cackle, like the old woman coming back. You start to you, 'cause, 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 ' it feels like you're getting like you feel pain, but you feel empowered. You're getting slightly taller. You know, you've got the slow change is coming about you as these two watch. Cerevel and Tharavel, you have one more chance to try and restrain her and stop her, or it is what it is, I guess.
Please do something.
Okay,
please,
let's
please.
see.
I don't care if you have to give me a concussion at this point. Just do something.
What's your wisdom like?
Wisdom.
We know what our constitution's like.
What? I got a wisdom of 12. Saving throw 6.
Could try that, I suppose. Okay, so the two brothers. I mean, like Tharavel sort of gets thrown back, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he's just kind of shocked as to what's happened, and he sort of feels like Saren's sort of approaching, and he sort of looks about, and he sort of looks to the side, and there's a dead fish lying there, and he just picks up the dead fish and he throws it at her. And as he I was gonna slap you with a dead fish while you were tied up, but I just thought it would be funny. Just like, you're not yourself, woman.
Oh, I wish you'd actually managed to restrain me now.
Okay.
Do you remember like what was it? CompuServe away, or where there's like showing my age,
Yeah.
where you could slap me around
MIRC.
with that's it, slap me around with a bit of a trout, and I could.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of, to be honest. Okay, so I may as well try this. I don't know whether it's better just for the two of us just to try and wrestle her again, or to try and charm her.
You're such a charmer. Oh no.
Oh, hold on, actually. Where is his? That might work. Yeah, fuck it. We're just gonna, like, the brothers are just gonna get up, and they're just gonna both run at her, and they're just gonna try and spear tackle her to the ground.
Okay. Right. Okay. Opposed. I guess opposed dexterity. To just roll. Both these roll dex.
Oh no.
Just dex saves then, yeah.
Or just dex rolls. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So you dive
I have
in,
an
you dive in,
inspiration point,
and
I'll
she
use it to
just
reroll.
you sort of kind of fly in, and she literally just steps to the side as you go crashing through, sort of like on her.
Oh
her
my
feet-
god.
Her feet. You can roll for Cerevel as well.
That was Cerevel on roll for.
Okay,
Ooh.
right, yeah. Okay, so as she steps aside, sort of, you gauge the sort of kind of step, and you sort of kind of grab her and tackle her. Roll me an opposed strength.
My strength's not as good.
My strength is terrible.
Okay, you get your +2, but so you're holding on just. So you're holding on. She's struggling. You can feel her getting stronger as you're doing this.
Get up yet?
Yeah. So basically, you need Cerevel's help quickly to sort of get her sort of incapacitated in some way, shape, or form. or she's going to roll
Okay.
again and throw you off.
Okay,
Not
so
without
Saravel
anything.
sort of he's sort of made a dive and he ends up like sort of face first in the wet sand, and there's water sort of spraying up in his face and everything like that, and he just sort of gets up and he's like spits out the salt water, and he sort of turns and he can sort of see Tharavel, like he's got a hold of her, but that he's really really struggling, and he struggles to get to his feet with his wet clothes and everything like that, but he manages to do it. And then he just runs over, and just braces her like, do I want to hit her with a wet fish?
I mean, this might be your only chance. In fairness,
You do it.
do it.
Yeah,
I'm
so
telling you, do it.
he sees the fish lying next to lying next to her head, and he just picks it up and he just clubs her across the face with it.
That would actually that would actually shock me into like just for a second, like
Okay, you can roll me a hit then, I guess. And you can have advantage because she's sort of you're effectively flanking her.
So I don't know what to use then.
blunt weapon.
Unarmed strike, I guess, if you've got that. If not,
I
just
don't think.
just roll a normal.
I take a load of damage from a fish.
Yeah, just roll like your normal attack then, and just take off any modifiers relating to that weapon.
Okay.
So a 19.
So
What's the +2 for?
that's
So it's
archery,
So
not
it's
really
17, straight 17 then. Okay, so you got straight 17. What's your AC?
15.
Right, okay. You hit her, and yeah, you don't do a lot of damage, but it's enough to sort of kind of distract her a little bit more, to give
Stun
you
you a little bit.
sort of to daze her a little bit, to sort of try and get her pinned down.
Okay, so as she's pinned, they start to try and wrap the rope around her.
Yep. Okay. Roll me a strength with advantage. Saren, you can roll me a strength +2, but at disadvantage.
Okay.
So you're on a 19.
You're getting all 19s, and you've been getting 21s.
I don't want the 21.
Bet you get.
Don't say
Bet
it.
you get.
Don't
You'll get an
say
18.
Okay, so
180.
This is worse than Blood Bowl.
first one.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So
Yeah.
no. Okay. So yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you managed to sort of kind of tie her up, and sort of restrain her, and she's sort of thrashing around and sort of cursing and demanding that you leave her to the surf and you leave her to the sea. This is where she wants to be, not with you monsters, and sort of like that green sort of kind of the ocean green sort of stuff sort of kind of pouring out of her mouth.
Okay, so they get the ropes wrapped around her, and she's sort of wriggling about and hissing. So both of the two of them sort of holding her and holding the ropes, just sort of lift her to her feet, and just sort of start trailing her along to head back to where they're going. I suppose Theravel's gonna cast Charm Person. See if this works. Probably won't. I'll put this into the thing.
Okay, you get advantage on being charmed, don't you? Because you're an elf.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I'll give you a straight roll because you're
Well, she gets advantage anyway because we're fighting with her.
Okay.
Basically, so.
Okay, right. All right. So yeah, just give me a It's base.
Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom.
Straight wisdom, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
know.
have an inspiration point.
She's
Can
just
I
like
roll?
you're the monsters. You're the ones who've done this. She starts screaming as you sort of dragging her off the beach. She's making a lot of noise at this moment in time, and it's not exactly a safe area.
So they're sort of trailing her along. They sort of pull her over to some, like a pile of driftwood and stuff like that, and they sort of push her down. Tharival takes out, like, he's got some rags and stuff like that, and he basically just tries to gag her mouth.
Go, give me a dexterity.
Stuff her mouth.
Yep. Okay. Give me a. You're at disadvantage, but give me a counter to that. Saren.
Dexterity counter, yeah.
Yeah.
Another 21.
Disadvantage. So
No, that's the first one.
No, the first one. It's the
Yeah.
first one.
So
roll-
you sort of,
roll-
she tries to put, you try to put her in her mouth, and she just bites your hand, and she dropped the rag. Cerevel sort of kind of says to you, brother, do you have any Athusis oil left?
I didn't. You want to kill her?
No, it's just, Athusis oil. If you, it helps people
Yeah, it
dream. So it's like you used it on Scalandra once.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I think, as far as I'm aware, we didn't give it all to Barty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tharival sort of takes it out of his pack and he's like, do you really want to do this again, brother? If we get this wrong, we could kill her.
either or at the moment, to be fair.
Yeah, he sort of looks
They're
at you, it looks at you, and then looks at her, and it says, we don't have much option. There are very few options left. She is going to bring down every enemy in this area upon us and get freed, or we try and shut her up.
Take care of her.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we need to roll something to remember how many drops it was?
Give me a history check to see if you sort of kind of are, you sort of remember how many drops and stuff you need to give it.
Do we
give
get
her.
an advantage on it because the two
Yeah,
of them are
between the both of
basically-
you, you sort of,
Hail Bahamut.
Okay. Yeah, so you know how many sort of kind of drops, like 1, 2, you don't get distracted this time like last time, and then you put in the other one, and Army of Darkness vibes, but you give her sort of, she's sort of like shaking her head and stuff, but sort of Cerevel holds her down as you sort of kind of put this into your body, and then you just literally grab, push her mouth shut to make her sort of kind of swallow it, and she does. She's still sort of kind of spitting and generally being noisy, but she slowly starts to sort of, her eyes start to kind of start to flutter and go down as she succumbs to the oil's effects, and then sort of is conked out.
Like giving a cat a flea pills vibe.
See, if somebody was watching this, it could be like 2 men trying to put a woman to sleep on a beach. Could get a really bad vibe.
Oh no!
There's a guy walking past. He's like,
Yeah, do I help? Do I not? What's going on?
He's got this sort of
We're
he's got this
definitely
sort of
not
kind of
calling it
rectangular thing out with a light on it, and he's sort of going, "I'm recording you. I'm recording you."
Active bystander.
That's
We're
why
going to
I
start
mean-
calling Therafall Mickey Finn, aren't we?
I've just got the
Holy
image of like
shit.
one of the twins, one of them like holding my nose and going like that. One of
That's
them-
right.
Swallow it! Swallow it!
So
Don't
It's like
spit it
giving
out!
Giving a kid
yeah, I
medicine.
think in like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, when he drinks the blood of Kali Ma
Yeah.
and he just grabs his nose.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
like, yeah. So if she's unconscious now, or she just
Yeah, she's out. She's out. She'll be out for a fair bit of time.
Do we just leave her here?
No, you do not just leave me there. Someone will untie me.
Or... Okay. I
Right, it's
suppose
Nigel.
We could try and
Yeah,
build a stretcher with the driftwood.
Obviously, you're going to have about half a day's worth before she's going, and then you're going to have to maybe redose her again. To sort of, so if you're going to try and bring her back, I can't remember how far away you are. Let me sort of make some quick. It is 5, 10, 15, 20. It's about a day to the bastion of the Morning Star. And then it's probably another day and a half, maybe day and a half to the sanctuary from where you are.
I think it's basically at this point it's just get her to the closest place that can offer help. So it'll probably be the bastion we'll just go to.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna have to redose her halfway down the sort of the road, I think. It's gonna take you less time. It's gonna be harder for you because you're gonna be two people carrying somebody else.
Yeah. So while she's unconscious, we take all her weapons and everything off her.
Okay.
Like no concealed knives or anything.
Roll
like
me,
that. No
roll me.
stabby.
Because she's a rogue. Roll me investigation.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You find everything.
That's a nice knife. A piece of candy.
Oh, he's candy.
Cool. All right. We'll let you. We'll
You're
start.
not keeping any.
You sort
That's
of
what-
make your
that's what
way
my eyes will say.
with her towards the bastion to try and seek help. I'll make you roll again at some point. Just sort of.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on to Lance. So you were making your way back. I'm assuming you're going to start making your way back to the bastion yourself. Or would you go directly back towards the sanctuary?
I think probably the bastion, because nearest point and all that.
Arguably not. I think. Would
If
you?
that's the way we came.
Yeah, the way you came. So you kind of. I'm not sure on this. So you've. So there is a direct road that goes sort of north from sort of Waterside that'll take you towards it. If you go east, that'll take you to the bastion, and then you'd have to go north after that. So it depends on, I guess.
Let's just assume I'm retracing the route I took originally, just
Okay.
in case I know that they're
All right, yeah, all right,
Okay.
yeah. We'll keep it simple. We'll do
You
it
know,
that
that was fairly clear.
yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. All right, so you make your way back, obviously thinking that you probably bump into the others as you sort of kind of make your way back. As you sort of were walking away, you know, Cyril is still not quite about himself. You know, whatever's taken a hold of him or had taken a hold of him is making him, you know, he's talking to himself now and again. He's sort of generally not, you know, being super normal. Let me just check something. You've got him tied up, don't you?
Yes. For his own protection, of course.
Okay. Right, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Roll me perception. Okay. You, as you're sort of walking along, you notice that he's sort of playing with the knots in his he's sort of trying to undo himself.
I stop, turn around, and catch him by surprise, and just say, "Please stop doing that, or we will tie your hands behind you, and we will be less gentle. This is for your own protection. Please stop."
He sort of insists that he wasn't doing anything and that it's, you know, he's fine. He's not going to escape. Why would he? So, you know, just carries on, sort of walking, in the direction that you're walking.
I looked at Eldarith and raised an eyebrow and nod towards him, and she nods to confirm she'll be keeping an eye as well. And then I carry on leading him in the direction we're going.
Okay. Okay. So, I'll move this forward slightly. So, Tharaval, you'll know she's starting to wake up as you sort of kind of you get to the halfway point. She's starting to wake up again. So you're going to dose her again. You'll know how many drops to do. Trying to think there's any shenanigans I can get up to here. Actually, okay, no, I'll do it this way. Okay, roll me a perception check.
1 each.
Yes.
Cyril. That's terrible.
Okay. Saren, roll me a stealth.
Oh god. For whatever's about to happen, I apologize now.
Okay,
Hell.
so
Right. Literally, I don't think I've beaten her in one dice roll yet. Like, and I've had advantage on everything, and she's had disadvantage on everything.
so you
Super strong.
sort of they're look, you know, you're aware they're sort of keeping their eye on you. Sort of slightly open, you know, one of your eyes, and notice, you know, you're being carried and you're bound. The voice in your head is sort of telling you that you need to get back to the sea and you need to leave these creatures. They will be the death of you. You need to leave. And you Um. Okay. So you don't have. They found all of your weapons. They've taken your weapons off you. I'm gonna leave it up to you. Do you have? Is there anything upon your person, or anything that you think you could do to help you escape them? Bearing in mind, you're very you know you're
I'm
insistent.
still a bit groggy,
yeah.
and thing is, I'm still a bit groggy. I'm stuck to the stretcher, and I'm going to assume that they were savvy enough not to tie the knots anywhere that I can actually reach. Honestly, I don't think there is a way that I can get out of it, because I would assume that me being bound, they would probably have tied me to the stretcher to actually keep me on the damn thing.
Okay.
I don't think I can.
All right. So, I should have asked how you tied them to. So you've tied her hands and feet. Would you have tied her to the stretcher?
I mean, I hadn't thought of it like that, but I mean, yeah, like.
Well, it's
your
made
call,
of
really.
driftwood, isn't it? So it's not going
Okay,
to be like.
I'm going to say you
stable.
didn't tie her to the stretcher. All right, so
Did-
you have a chance to, while they're not they are paying attention, but obviously you're being a bit more savvy, to basically roll off the stretcher and down one of the embankments there, and then try and free yourself before they get you. Roll me a dex.
Oh no.
Okay. You're not gonna get advantage on it and stuff. You're feeling groggy, etc. and stuff. You're just gonna so you
Face down onto the floor.
you
Can I
sort of
describe this? Because I've got a really good picture in my
yeah,
head.
go on then, you can do it, yeah.
So she starts to wriggle, and the next thing she does roll off, and she just lands flat on her face, and basically starts to sort of like glowworm along the ground, like sort of arches the back, and Cerebell and Tharavel are just sort of standing, like carrying the stretcher, just sort of walking along beside her, and she's just sort of shuffling like bit by bit, not really going anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. So she's awake now, and she's slowly getting away.
Oh no, she's running away.
So the brothers they put the stretcher down, and they sort of walk along, sort of giggling a little bit at the sort of comical sort of scene in front of them. Although she is still sort of like hissing and starting to sort of make a bit of noise. They sort of realize the urgency if she's starting to come around. So they sort of roll her onto her back and kneel on her, and then try to administer the
Okay.
droplets again.
Right. Okay. Roll me a strength check. You can have advantage because she's tied. Sarah, and you have disadvantage, but you get your +2.
Okay. Oh no. I mean, my strength is pants anyway, but
It's considering some of your prior roles.
Okay, all right, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, there's a
I've
little
never wanted to fail anything more in my life.
there's a bit of a struggle, and they basically do the same thing. They administer the Athusis oil, and they clamp your mouth shut, and you're back into into dreamland once more as they sort of kind of carry the final leg of the journey. Right, so we're basically going to say that both sets of you guys have made it to the bastion. We'll move back to the sanctuary. The sanctuary. You chaps are making your way. So it's Arno, Barty, Brother Gadden, and Nigel. Niasil.
Nigel Sonberry.
Nigel. Are making your way to the archives to try and ask some questions about this chap that you've
Vin.
Vin. So where is he? Let me find.
Number.
Is it? Yeah, there it is. So you've got yeah, Vin Vilius. So, and then he is part of Father Merrick Halvin's. Effectively, he's been helping him, inverted commas, in the archives. Okay, so you make your way back to the archives. The archivist, or the person who's sort of kind of looking after him, said, "Back so soon, are you? Have forgotten something?"
Actually, no, we have a discovery, but maybe you can help us out. Where's this? We're looking for Vin, if he's around.
Vin. Oh, that the bloody useless Valius. Yeah. Well, he's sneaking around here somewhere.
Oh.
Haven't seen him today, to be fair. Trying to deal with some loss of some documents. They've gone missing. He's probably stolen them, the bugger. But yeah, I've not seen him. Not turned up for work.
Do you mind talking to me about that? Well, us, actually. It's just that we've lost something from him as well, and he was the last person that my friend Arno here, and introduces Honor to them, and
Ardo flicks
seems
his
to be the
hair and
last
name
person.
away.
Yeah, just sort of like casually. Arno would just push his head to one side, and then says, and he continues, says, "Well, because he was the last person we met, and Arno's missing his book. It's actually quite dear to him, and his brother gave it to him. And Vin seems to have had the copy of it, and he hasn't returned it back to us. So, I guess if we're able to find out more, we're definitely able to help. We'll find him, so you don't have to go outside of the library and interfere with your day, if you will. But yeah, any information you can tell us about what happened here would help us immensely."
Yeah, he says that certain documents, certain things about the some of the High Paladin's sort of diaries and some of the documents regarding the sort of the stores and things that are within the sanctuary itself have gone missing. There's there's other sort of random things have gone as well, but he's quite worried about the sort of higher level security breaches. And he says, well, so obviously, if the High Paladin finds out these have gone missing, he's not going to be happy. So by all means, if you want to, go into the vaults, see if you can find him, or at least something to help me. I'm not going to stop you. Please just be careful. There are books and scrolls in here older than you, so just be careful.
I don't think you need to tell me twice, and I have reverence for such items as well as my good friend. So, well, my friends. Barty, Arno, are there any questions?
Whereabouts does he normally hang around?
He's sort of being assigned mundane tasks, so he does some sweeting, he lights candles. He's been given greater access to the archives because of Father Merrick Halvin, who's sort of in charge of, the temple complex. He seems to have managed to worm his way in there. The archivist sort of kind of says, she says, there's not much we can say about him to the high priest. He seems to have got him wrapped round his little finger. How he's done that, I've no idea. But he won't hear a bad word against him. So you need to keep this quiet, or things might get messy. He's an old fella. Doesn't seem to be about himself recently.
Oh. Interesting.
Look, he looks at Barty and he says, "Don't suppose that's a compulsion, a charm, maybe."
Definitely. Oh,
Do
thank
you
very much.
Do you keep any sensors or like anti-magic devices?
He he looks slightly embarrassed. You see, no, I was meant to, but I've been distracted. You see, I'm trying to write a book, and I've been really getting into some of the calligraphy, and one thing came to another, and I didn't get in the right tradesman to help with the security of the archives. Please don't tell the High Priest, not the High Priest, please don't tell the High Paladin. He will literally have my head.
Just looks at Barty, and he's looking very conflicted because the do-gooder has to report him. But he can see that the guy looks like he's really happy with the calligraphy, so it's like the needs of the many weigh the outweighs of the few. And then he just looks up. So he looks at Barty, and he's just like, I'll have to confirm with my colleague in a minute, but that's very worrying.
Well, maybe we can keep quiet about that. If you can keep quiet about some things you may see or hear in the near future.
Yes, that's very good. Yeah, if anything happens,
Just
one,
simply forget about it.
it's exactly,
It's probably your imagination.
Yeah, just think of it as us being the countermeasure to such mishap.
He says,
No?
I'm very forgetful. As you can see, I was writing my book. So yeah. Well, mum's the words. I didn't see anything. Wink,
Okay.
wink.
Good to know. Okay. And as he does, let me just make sure that I've got that spell. I think I have that. No, I don't have that spell. I'm not a wizard. One of those I'm gonna cast alarm. Just for it. Yeah, because he does not trust the guy at all now. Because the other thought was in the back of his head, maybe he could say, like, if anybody comes in or out, let us know, send us something. But no, you're so fucked. So he just looks at
You could keep a register, like a little ledger.
No, he just looks at Barty, just like, no. All right, we'll get to it. We'll get to the bottom of this. Come, let's go.
Arno, what would
let's
Arno
do it,
say in
right?
this instance and stuff? Obviously, this
I think
major,
Arno is
this
gonna
major
remain
breach
quiet.
this major breach in security.
He's gonna keep quiet. If I was Conrad and I was playing Arno would listen to all of this, absorb it, and then afterwards say something once they're out of earshot, and then go, "What the fuck?" That's what I think he would do, but I don't know if like Barty, if you'd agree with me on that one, because like, I initially thought, oh yeah, Arno could smooth talk it, but actually no, he's not. He's a wait and see kind of guy. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah, let's go find this Vin bastard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually,
yep.
maybe. So he goes to Barty and he says, they find a place somewhere quiet, and he says, before anything else, because he said that there's no sensors or anti-magic around, it's probably prime time that we can sit here. I can ritual cast detect magic, so we can see which direction it's coming from, as well as what kind of magics he's using. Because I bet you any money that there is some kind of nefariousness, which means that there's some conjuration involved, with a little bit of abjuration, and a good bit of transfiguration or necromancy. One of the four.
So
So
there's a little bit of everything.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
He might just be a straight up spy.
Well, of course he's a straight up spy. This is all
It might not be
saying
magic.
but if
Magic's
it's not,
already happened with the teleportation and whatnot.
but it's the fact that we don't have the magic is one thing, but once he's discovered it, he's going to act without impunity. So he's going to use magic if he has magic. See?
So should we just cast Forbiddance now? Stop him escaping?
No. Oh.
Like, we've got magic as well. We'll just
We
have a straight
do.
up fucking fight.
Yes, but that means then we can't send the message out now. Well, Arno, you're here. You can use your stone, can't you?
Yeah.
And
Roll me
Stealth?
No. So how am I going to do this? Roll me insight.
Ooh. Go and get. I've got a feeling you
Oh, come off it! Oh.
Daisies. Oh, days.
Welcome to my world.
I'm normally good at these rolls.
Yeah,
Right,
the plus
I did
5 as
fuck
well.
all.
Fucking hell.
Mickey,
So
do
that's a
double-
crit fail then, is it?
It is a crit fail.
Ooh.
Sweet.
What we got here?
I'm gonna. So, do I then go with the worst assumption and just go hard with it based on the insight?
Yeah, I think so. Brother.
So, we're playing paranoid Gadden. Here we go. Oh.
Right. You,
Okay.
Barty. What's your insight?
Oh, I didn't roll it. I was so confident. Ugh.
Okay.
Bollocks
Yeah,
all.
that's fine. You both.
We're gonna do the paranoid bill.
You're not picking up on anything either in the conversation with you're not picking up anything in the conversation with the archivist, and in general you're just sort of like, yeah, like you said, he could be an assassin, might not be magic. Brother Gaddon, your brain's just gone off on some wild sort of kind of craziness about whatever you feel is apt for his character at this moment in time.
Well, paranoia. It's 100% paranoia. So,
I mean, you're not normally paranoid?
No, this time around he's very paranoid. So this will be well, because the context. Let's comprehend the situation, which is that we're hunting for a spy, and now we've gone down the rabbit hole, and there's lots of confirmation bias. We're going down the whole tick 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 bot. So he's now looking for things tick 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 tick. One of them is magic, in and out, spy. So yes.
He gets out of his he goes into the pockets in his sort of thing, and he gets out this red string and some pins and starts kind of
And he's like, this. Oh, fucking hell.
Somebody else walks by is like, what have you done to the wall?
Yeah. So no. So hear me out. I think it's very plausible, because if this is like the string in events that happened in the lead up to Gregor being kidnapped, and he's still here, I mean, this is still prime opportunity. He's still a Trojan. He's what they call a Miletian horse. He's stuck inside, wooden,
Right, this
and
time.
soldiers, hiding in there. Then suddenly they get brought into the city like it's a present, and then bam, inside attack. So it's the same situation here, and he's here to let the floodgates in. We need to get him. Like
God, if I had a stepping stool, there must be one around here somewhere. I'd slap you. You're talking absolute nonsense.
I'm not. I mean, if you think about it, it's quite real.
We brought him here. There was a little, that whole thing about will it be evil or not?
No, I'm talking about this Vin guy. This Vin is the assassin, definitely. Well, he's not an assassin. He's like a spy for the corruption and.
Forgot we've got Niasil with you as well, Bertha. 1 minute, because I guess can somebody roll an insight for
Nigel, right? Give me a
we
second,
need one for
Arno as well.
Arno as well. Yeah.
I could take Arno, and you can take Niasil.
Let's see if I've got.
Oh, is he under his Gregor
Might be
still?
cheap.
1 minute. I'll. Everybody should have access to Niasil, but I've got his thing here.
These days.
Insight. Where are you?
I can't see. I've got Gregor, but not Niasil.
Niasil human form. Where are we?
Yeah, don't have Niasil here.
Insight. He doesn't have a great insight. I'm afraid.
Right, so rolling insight
No.
for
Okay.
Arno. 1 second. Arno Jekyll and insight.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, you're not sort of. Yeah, you're no. There's everybody else is sort of like Again, it is as it is. Basically, there's nobody's picked up on anything else. So.
Arno would then confer with the rest of the team and say that I don't think that this is something we should jump straight into. We should get more facts. We should go and...
Let's look around the archives.
Yeah.
I've got a sneaking suspicion there may only be one person in here. Other than
Okay.
ourselves.
Then let's do that then. Before our good friend Brother Gadden here decides to start turning into a conspiracy theorist and we end up bringing nonsense to the High Paladin.
So we'll spend some time looking through the stacks. For this
Yeah.
bit.
But and everything, yeah, basically everything we can see, whether it's books or just like stuff that looks peculiarly out of place.
Okay, roll me investigation then. Just roll me 1 dice. Can I have advantage on it because there's.
Advantage, yeah. On my investigation, I have crap. So yeah, Barty definitely.
24.
Okay.
Way.
Nice.
Okay. So what is it specifically you're looking for?
We're looking for the inn, but going a bit deeper into it, any sorts of evidence of spycraft or magic shit.
Okay.
You
You notice as you're sort of looking around the archives and stuff, you notice bits and pieces that seem to be out of place. More specifically, you also notice a small drop of blood. Like it's very small, but as you're sort of kind of looking through, you sort of notice this, like on the corner of one of the sort of kind of shelves where the archives are.
Some people juice here.
I don't know what that means though.
The blood. Oh. I thought you didn't. I get you now. In the wider picture, in the sense, wider sense.
Yeah.
Of things. Yes, I thought you literally meant you don't know what.
No, yet, but
It-
and he just looks at it. He's just like, and he looks at Marty, and then he looks at Arno, and he goes, blood magic.
Yes, blood magic.
No, and then he just says out loud,
Oh. Keep going, Gadden. You'll get there.
"You're gonna have to spell it
Oh.
out for me. I haven't,
Violent. Blood
Oh.
magic or violence.
Oh, so you're actually okay? Fine. Sorry, I'm just so used to people. When I go out and find these things, I'm used to little nerds that are like skinny and they've just cut their wrists and spew things on the ground to bring out things out of the ground. Usually monsters that do the violence.
Awful.
So that's easy to identify. This espionage thing and subterfuge, none of this.
Yes.
Okay.
Is the blood on the ground?
No, it's sort of
Is it
kind of
like-
on the bookshelf. You do notice that there's that smell of. It's got a smell of something where you've been into a new room in an inn and it's been cleaned. There's that you've got that smell of somebody's cleaned in this area and this has been missed.
It smells like disinfectant.
Yeah, effectively. Fantasy
Magical
disinfectant.
But there's no other people around.
Well, yeah. There's at the minute you haven't seen anything. You just see the spot of blood.
I think it's been cleaned around here.
Um,
I don't want to sound paranoid or anything like that, but I think the librarian might not be.
do you think the
librarian.
librarian is the liar?
I think it could be Vin.
He pulls out and casts detect magic. Not the least bit subtle. Just casts it out. So 1 second, detect magic. What he's looking for is what schools of magic there are. He's looking for transfiguration because that will be. Why did I cast it as Arno? Sorry, it's meant to be me. Pardon me. So yeah, he'll cast detect magic 30 feet. I imagine that the archive itself is less than 30 feet in size, if not.
Let me just check something quickly. Just let me find something. 'Cause
I had this like huge sprawling, like Indiana Jones style, like little mezzanine floors and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Oh my god, no! With
With
the
the
two
X
in the middle.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
just like
and then there's like
walls
somebody
made out
fit-
of documents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
let's see. So I just need to check something.
But yeah, somebody may have.
Okay.
Sometime.
You are aware that there's illusionary magic at play in the vicinity. And you get sort of whiffs of other things, but that's, I guess, would be the most prominent one.
Illusion magic.
Would
yeah.
you know the direction as well?
Yeah.
Coming back from the archivist, where the archivist is.
Yeah, around the archivist that's where the aura is, or the.
That's where it's sort of
presence.
coming. Its direction's coming from. Yeah.
I think we take this fucker out.
Question. 1 second. And he just remembers spells as he goes along. Do you have anything like control human or control person?
Yes, fireball. Roll him
No.
to the ground.
Something less.
Yes. So
that
you
sort of
need
thing.
me to stop him from getting away.
No, I need you to just stop him. We need to
Yes.
ensnare him, not blow him up.
Ensnare him.
Stop him. Yes.
Stop him in his tracks.
Yes.
Like Barty will turn around and make an incantation and cast telekinesis and
So you're not obviously within sight of him. You know it's in that direction that it's coming from. So what is it you're casting?
so I can wander back up to where the librarian is and cast telekinesis.
Right, so you're walking back towards in that direction.
Yeah, that's it. We want to just sort of grab him, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what you are doing then. You're not sort of looking around, that you're just going straight back to where you come
Oh
from.
yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that Arno,
I feel like I've
Arno-
escalated.
yeah, for Arno, I think at this point would probably see the logic in us going straight for the bastard. He didn't sense anything, but obviously we're going through conspiracy theory mode, so we're just gonna go through it.
So as you sort of make your way back, you hear this sort of loud shout, and you hear footsteps, like a lot of footsteps, sort of kind of coming into this room, where the archivist was standing. You see what looks like a monk sort of pointing at you and said, "They did it! They killed the archivist! No, they killed the archivist! And look, see?" And he points at sort of like the body of the archivist, which is sort of down on where the archivist was, in his sort of like little cubicle area, I guess. And he sort of kind of points at you. You have a lot of sort of quite heavily armed guards and the High Paladin sort of kind of standing there and going, "What is this treachery?"
Barty, dispel the magic.
Well, yeah. So right. So it's the dead body that I'm trying to. I've not killed him. Right.
No.
He's already dead.
He was, yeah. We didn't sense the fact that it was illusionary magic, and we were gonna go grab him, but now he's shifted and changed form. So, and Garden's already caught on to that. I'm just gonna, because we've seen that there's a body on the floor.
Quickly, he says, they've got demon weapon. Quickly, stop them! They're going to do something. And
A man is a liar and a traitor and a murderer.
he says,
at that
"They're
point-
the traitors. Look, they've got blood on their look. He's tried. You can smell the disinfectant in the air. He's tried to clean it up."
And Garden doesn't even bother at that point. He just points Lightbringer up in the air and he says, "Don't fucking kiss out lies, you piss dribble slut!" And then casts Dispel Magic at the 6th level over this little whiny weasel's face.
Okay. Is it DC equals 10?
It's instant.
10 DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, so 16.
I cast it at level 6.
So
10
10
do
plus.
I...
The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, so level 16. At higher levels, when you cast a spell, use a spell slot of 4th level or higher, you can automatically end the effect. Okay, it's automatic. Okay, cool. All right, so he can't stop it. So basically, you get from this sort of slightly gnarled-looking monk pointing accusingly at you both, and then suddenly this sort of quite well dressed, quite well robed, but in sort of quite dark runic clothes, standing there, realizing very quickly that his illusion is no more. He sort of looks at his hand. He sort of kind of looks around him and goes, "Oh fuck," and tries to sort of dash off to the side.
Telekinesis, motherfucker. I'm going to cast it on him, and basically it works like a grapple. So I've got to make an ability check using a spellcasting modifier. But I think that's just like a spell attack. So it's D20 plus 10 against his strength or acrobatics, I think.
Okay, do what you need to do. I'll just roll a D20 on it.
So it's 18 versus his.
Okay.
I swear, if he gets 18 or higher, I'm gonna fucking lose
Yeah.
my
Well,
shit.
if I was in a
Okay,
divination
yeah.
wizard, we would worry about that.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
That's just a straight roll.
Oh,
No
no.
modifiers. That's just a straight roll.
Arno, as he's casting this, Barty, sorry, as he's casting the spell, realizes what's about to happen. He can see him getting the strength and the fortitude to break free of the telekinesis. And he'll swap that 18 out for a 3 using his portent die.
Boom.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Or a 9, sorry, it's not a 3 this time.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, he's sort of completely mind shackled, as it were,
Nice.
where he is.
I'll raise him up like 10 feet in the air for effect.
Raise him up.
Raise him up! We have
Like
10
the slimy
minutes.
little shit he is.
We have 10 minutes for the interrogation, and
Okay, so the High Paladin, he says, I knew it would be you. I knew it in my bones. Savros, you sneaky. And he drops the C-bomb. He's just like, and some of the monks sort of kind of gasp, and he says, no, Bahamut, forgive my language, but you have cost many lives, and you will pay for this. You will tell us what you are doing here, and you will tell us quickly, or your death will be painful and long. Can he speak, by the way, this guy? Can he,
Oh yeah, it's just a grapple.
Yes, he just can't move. He's just like floating 10 feet in the air.
Like
he sort of, he sort of, as he's sort of frozen there, and he's like, I can't, I'm dead anyway, so you might as well kill me. You're not getting anything from me. Do you think he will let me live if I tell you anything? No. You might as well kill me, Paladin.
He's dead. I forgot about that. One moment, please. He consults his book and opens it up. He's going to look at the what the exact nuances with speak with dead. Speak with the dead.
I thought we were speaking metaphorically.
No, he's actually a corpse.
Like I'm
isn't
dead
he?
anyway.
Yeah, roll me intimidation, I guess.
How to intimidate a corpse.
Wait. No, I'm not going to. There's a skill that there's a spell that I can use. It's speak with the dead, and
I've got
Oh, I
Now,
thought you were
I've
going to
done
say
this-
that we don't care that you're dead. We're going to speak with your
No,
corpse
no,
afterwards
there's-
anyway.
No, so there was a, and I don't know if you want. Basically, I actually don't have the spell though. This is quite fun. Actually, no. Speak for the dead. Yeah. So if I'm just gonna play it so you can see it here. But basically, it says grants you you grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse within your range. He's technically a corpse. He's technically got semblance of intelligence, but the way that I argued this is that somebody played it with me when I had a dead corpse that became a lich, and then they cast speak with dead to try and lower the intelligence so it answered the questions you wanted it to answer. So because he's a corpse, how
No,
would
he's
you
not a
rule it
literal
that if I
corpse.
cast-
He's dead anyway. In that, if he tells you he's going to be
Yeah,
a
that's
killer.
what I thought it meant. It was like,
I was
like, you were
yeah,
being too
like,
literal with it. I
was
thought you were trying to
dead.
intimidate him by kind of going, "Well, I don't care
No,
if you
no, no,
die.
no,
We'll
no,
just
no.
talk with your corpse afterwards," sort of thing.
Yeah,
And
well,
then-
that.
I mean,
God, it's a metaphor.
There you go. No, so, yes, so
Got
I'm
it.
gonna,
Only got 10 minutes, Cannon.
I'm gonna run this. He looks at it and he goes,
Got
"Wait,
it.
is he actually a corpse, or is he just
He's
like
the
saying
Drax
he's
of the
dead?"
group.
Yeah, it's yeah. Well, I did kind of make him as a himbo healer. So he would actually he's. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. I just went down a rabbit
We
hole.
could.
Too much
It's definitely a tactic, though. A valid strategy. I can kill him, and then you can
Right.
speak with
I
Roll
can
me
do that, yeah.
Roll me intimidation. I'm guessing you're not going to
No.
explain to him your little.
No. It's 14. There you go.
Yeah. How high is the ceiling out of interest?
how high is the intimidate? He's
No,
quite.
how high? Literally, how high is the?
Oh, how
3
literal
foot
that we're talking.
height?
Oh yeah, we need this. Literally, I don't know. It's a cathedral-y type thing. So you're.
Oh, easily
I'll spend a
50.
few rounds
Yeah,
sending him
50
straight
foot.
to the top.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we've got some time. Barty, if he starts to say like, oh, he doesn't want to talk or whatever, I'll spend a few rounds pushing him up to the top of the ceiling, and then I'll just drop him. And when he's like a foot from the ground, I'll stop him, like a dead stop.
I love it.
So yeah, obviously that me like thinking we were suggesting that we kill him, drop him, and blow him up, and then we'll speak for his corpse. Did that work? Because we definitely did that discourse, right?
Currently he's not, but I guess if you roll another one when you've thrown him up to the top of the ceiling, he might be slightly more. You can have advantage on it.
No,
Next
no,
time
no.
we're not stopping.
No, and I don't think we need to do the interrogation in instance. I mean, we have an angry high paladin with here in front of us. Lord Bahamut himself will probably grant him divine smite on his words alone because of how pissed he is. And let's just forget our good friend Smashing Nigel. So, you know, it's just... I mean, do you want...
I forgot about Nigel actually. Yeah. So yes, I did. I forgot about Nigel. So, ooh, interesting. Yeah. Right. So, he sees this happening. He sees this heretic appear in front of him, and he's sort of very much because one of his traits is literally let me just sort of, where is his my hatred of my enemies is blind and unreasoning. So he is he's seeing this effectively one of the sort of main lieutenants of the arch enemy appear here. He is, and he's, you've given the time to do his thing, but he is now going to start to change form.
Oh no! Nice.
You hear
just
him sort of getting angry and looking like he's like fixated, like a dog that sort of sees somebody he doesn't like, and he's starting to sort of kind of heretic.
And he just turns, grabs Diasol by his chest, and he's just like, calm down, brother. You must calm down because you're heretic. We need answers first before we give retribution. He knows more than he can let on, and he can help us save more lives if he tells us. So please, calm your fury. Don't let yourself become the avatar of Bahamut just yet.
Roll me persuasion.
Oh shit, son, I'm very shit at this. I told you I'm very shit at this.
Okay. He shrugs you off, and because we've not really established how he goes, so I'm just going to say this if Arno if Conrad wants to change how he changes, but I think it's a good plot device. So yeah, he just sort of kind of throws you off, and he starts to sort of transform into his draconic figure. As he does, this sort of kind of light just sort of kind of pulses out, and the high paladin, who's generally quite composed and stoic and stuff, sort of backs off with his men as he sees this happen. Niasil basically changes into this sort of huge hulking dragon. He then flies up to where the where Zavros is, and you hear this sort of scream occur, As you're sort of kind of looking up, you hear him sort of say something in Draconic. Does anybody speak Draconic?
I speak. Hang on. I do not. Hang on.
I do, but I'm not.
Oh, that's sorry. Wrong one. Oh no! I only speak Infernal and Celestial and Leonin.
So
Oh dear.
he says something in Draconic. You hear this sort of loud, sort of Draconic, quite harsh sounding phrase as he breaks out this huge sort of this huge sword and goes to sort of kind of strike at the spy, at Zavros.
Barty, save him. just save him. God.
Save Zavros.
Yes.
He may be more useful to us dead. He refuses
Fine.
to talk.
Fine. I'll speak with him when he's dead.
Right. What about Ardo? What's his views on this?
So
Channeling
Arno-
your Conrad. What would he sort of say?
So Arno would actually let this all go to pot because he sees the logic in trying to speak with him as he's dead rather than he's alive when he does, and he will do more damage. I think the problem that he has at the moment is that he's seeing Niasel's turned into a dragon when against his better judgment he shouldn't have in front of the High Paladin. So this is the thing that he's having a hard time trying to wrestle with. So he looks to the rest of the party, and he looks to Barty in particular, and he says, should we stop him?
I don't know if I've got the power to.
The paladin, the High
don't
Paladin,
either.
sort of kind of looks at him with his men, and then sort of looks at you. What is this?
That's a very good question, and the honest
Why has
answer
Nigel
is
turned
that-
into a dragon?
While this is going on, Barty's going to like start trying to move Zavros around in the air ahead of
so he's doing that, and so yeah, just like, but it's like freaking what's it? Tea party at the ceiling with Mary Poppins, and then meanwhile Ardo is going up to the High Paladin. He says, "Your Eminence, this is something that we'd been meaning to talk to you and tell you about, but I didn't think it was the right time, considering that we didn't have proof that there was a spy here." And we didn't want to arouse suspicion, but that there is a avatar of Bahamut, and he is here occupying the body of our friend Sir Gregor. So Bahamut's blessing, of course, has saved Gregor from a particular spell that is called the Ritual of Rebirth, and that would never have happened if the temple's magical security had been more tighter. So this is what we're dealing with now.
So you're telling, right? So let me get this straight. So you're telling him something like completely mad. As much as he's a religious man, you know this thing's happening. You're now telling him that his security's lax. So roll me.
Persuasion?
Roll me persuasion, I guess. Yeah.
Right? Brilliant. I was hoping you'd
Oh
say
my
that.
god,
Sorry,
this
that was...
happened and your security is
Yeah.
I got sorry. I did that as me.
He's somewhat wounded by the insult, but he is aware that the Lord Bahamut works in mysterious ways, and he has no reason to. He's got no reasons to distrust you. So he, as much as it's insane, it's crazy. He is just kind of completely awestruck. He, you know, what he is, he would be a person who's usually quite verbose, verbose, is very, you know, he's just quiet and just now just gawping at this whole thing. As this happens,
Arno's going to continue. Arno, but one more thing before that. Arno's going to say, we had hoped to have solved everything and laid out the evidence, the solution all in one go before we actually came to you. But unfortunately, things have escalated. We are here now. Niasul, you correctly heard, we were just toying with you, is one of those individuals, and you may know of him, and he may be of that very individual that you think you know from history and glory past.
He says Niasul, the Grand Master of the Dragon Knight, the Dragon Knights, returned by Bahamut.
And he gives him a thumbs up.
By Bahamut. He says,
but we must keep this quiet. This must be our ace in the sleeve, which is why he must be allowed to kill Zavros. So then that way we can continue the secrecy of Niasul. Because if Niasul was to ever be found in the field of battle with our enemies, then things will escalate. We need him as a trump card. Do you understand that?
he as you know, he's going to be lawfully good, and you know, paladins can generally be quite sort of he's a bad guy, he deserves to die sort of thing, but he's going to be, we need information. He has documents have been stolen. There is stuff. Are you shushing him? Are you putting your finger on his lips? Shush.
No. Yeah, that is like, don't worry, I can.
Shush now.
Like, don't worry, High Paladin. I'm very good at speaking with the dead. I promise you, we'll get answers, alive or dead. Doesn't matter.
He goes, very well. Are you preventing Niasil from his quarry anymore, or are you just going to let him have
So at this point, Barty's just been like,
it's like a cat with a laser
It's
pointer.
like,
It's like a cat with a laser
it's
pointer.
exactly that. Every now and again, it gets a bit closer, and then random change of
do you
that.
mind, like, I saw a very dirty speck in that stained glass window. Do you mind you getting him with that as well?
It's just exhausting.
I know, but you're so good at it. Yeah.
Okay, so you're letting them have him then, basically.
Well, I mean, Barty's controlling it. We've just said that, and we looked, and Arno is now looking up Barty, being almost like, "Do it, let him be cleaved."
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just like.
Okay, so he, Niasil, who was sort of kind of looking frustratedly at Barty, sort of gives him an evil look, and Barty just sort of leaves him be there and sort of kind of nods his head at him. Niasil then turns around, lets out this mighty roar, and then just he then just shoves his blade through the belly of Zavros and sort of kind of growls in his face. If you think sort of like in Lord of the Rings, where sort of Aragorn sort of kind of stabs Lurtz in the stomach, sort of thing, where he just sort of shucks in, but sort of kind of growls in his face, and then bites off his head. So stabs him there and then bites off his head.
And then before he sees the ball go up, Ganon just screams out, "No, not the head! Not the head!"
Okay, I didn't think about it. Obviously, he can't talk to the dead if he's got no head. But there you go. So so roll me persuasion again, I guess.
Oh, fucking hell! As Ganon, there we go. This is gonna be fucking awful.
Ooh,
God.
Ooh, I am going to roll for him. What am I going to roll? what could counter that persuasion? Just another persuasion, maybe. Just
No, it's not. It is. It's a wisdom saving throw.
Is wisdom.
And he. Wait, no, it's not. It's. Yeah, I'd say wisdom in that case. Or is it charisma? Oh, fuck off.
Oh, what?
So
God.
he as the sort of like swords in them, and this guy sort of clenched onto the sword of and sort of kind of, you know, blood sort of kind of coming down his mouth. Niacil sort of kind of hears you and looks down, and you hear this sort of kind of laugh as he laughs, he turns around and he bites off Zavros's head, and then he spits it down onto the ground.
And then he uses mage hand and just tries to catch the head. And he's just like, oh, fuck's sakes.
Yeah,
Just
so
got images of Ganon using Mage Hand doing like a baseball save like
He's
this.
just like,
so floating appears at a point you choose within range. Hand laughs for yeah. Does a mage hand need a dexterity save to try and catch something?
it's up to you. I could do that, and I'll use my spellcasting modifier.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah,
go on that.
So that would be my spellcasting attack bonus is 12. So I'll just do my spellcasting ability. Hang on, there you go. How do I do just... I'll you know what I'm going to do? That's Arno, by the way, not Gadden.
Yep.
I was thinking, why do I have a 20 there? That's not the right place. I don't know if I can do that. Can I do that there? No, I'm just going to do charisma flat out.
Okay.
And then I've got a proficiency to it as well. So
Yeah, it's
I'm
fine.
fine.
It's fine. Nighting's fine. Okay, right. So, you know, the mage hand just kind of flies out and catches this sort of kind of severed head, sort of kind of partial bit of spine sort of kind of coming out as it's going to kind of lands on it. There's blood just raining down from the ceiling now, as this sort of like a Niacil sort of kind of flies down and just stands there sort of kind of, you know, breathing heavily. Everybody in the room's completely just sort of shocked, and you as this sort of kind of, I'm guessing you're still holding them there at this moment in time. I'm not sure if you're sort of, you know, Barty, you're holding this sort of kind of raining corpse.
But the body just like completely dumbfounded.
You're just like holding it there, kind of like forgetting to sort of let him go. And Niacil just kind of stands there. It's sort of kind of raining blood. Slayer appears, raining blood, and
I'm gonna bring the body down to the ground. I'm going to bring the body down to my feet.
Yeah. It lays it down. Niacil then sort of he sort of he transforms back into his into Gregor effectively, and spits a bit of blood out on the ground. He shakes his head slightly and looks at the corpse on the ground and the severed head in the floating hand, and sort of backs off a bit and goes, what happened here?
You did.
Gadden casting prestidigitation in his face to clean him up slightly because he looks like a complete mess.
Yeah.
And then Arno then looks at Niacil and he says, "You were what happened to this place and Zavros. So there was something within you that obeyed the need for you to kill. So good job. That was very good. Although you didn't have to go for the head. So then you go a bit of time.
I read a book that you should always.
Oh,
I read a book
effort.
about a god who said you should always go for the head.
So, but yes, just you should come over here now and stand there and don't do anything, don't touch anything, don't breathe much, just be still.
It's like the end sequence to Carrie. It's just like covered dripping.
Just like just
the High Paladin sort of looks at the mess in the archives and looks at you with horror and just kind of goes, You said you can talk to the dead.
And
We have your permission, High Paladin?
I was going to ask, but as a brother of the Legion of the Unyielding Light and the servant of Bahamut, in the interests and the servitude of prayer, I seek humble permission for you from you to speak with the dead and cast blasphemous magic in this house in order to understand and gain knowledge and prevent death from the future. What say you, High Paladin?
He sort of looks at Niasil, and then he looks back at the head, and he looks at the body, and he says, "You cannot cast that magic in this place. You must take it outside the walls."
Gadden grabs the body of Zavaros and looks over to Gadden. He's like, "On me! Quick!"
Before that happens, he's like, "Okay, it's now considered an object, isn't it? The corpse, right?"
I guess so.
Right, cool. He casts mending and puts the head together with the body. He just goes in together in one go. It's just like
You what? So your spell repairs a single break. It's not a single break or tear.
It is. It's a breakdown. The tear down the neck.
Straight across.
It's not
It's
straight
just
across. He got his head bitten
Straight
off by a dragon. No. You
Yeah,
can't
but
have
it's a tear. It's a big tear.
Break or
No.
tear.
Okay, fine. So he just like messily puts it back in, tucks the thing as he goes, and then he looks at Arno and Niasil and be like, "Well, come, let's go." And it's blood everywhere, and he's just
Every time.
he's casting prestidigitation at the same time, just cleaning up as he goes.
Yeah. The High Paladin sort of kind of stops Niasil and says, "Grandmaster, I have many questions. If you mind, we might have words later." Niasil sort of looks slightly awkward. Why is he calling me Grandmaster?
And then Arno turns to Niasil and says, "Because you turned into the Grandmaster. So I'm going to speak in behalf of him, if that's okay. Niasil will speak with you later, and he will give you information. Time is of the essence, though." And with that, he kind of just, at this point, you just see the halfling grab him by the wrist and just pull him.
Okay.
He grabs onto to Barty, and he goes, "Well."
Okay.
They just disappear and end up
Outside
in a
the-
room at that inn or wherever outside the walls of the
Okay, cool.
temple.
You do the thing, and I guess we've got enough time for you to try and speak to a severed head.
Be quick, Gadden. Be very quick.
Fine. Cast.
I need to do something after.
Of course.
Oh no!
Struts away.
No.
Whips up.
he's looking really cagey. Really.
Oh god, my head is went into some very dark places. Okay, right.
At this point, he didn't even look at. He did look two things. Well, he actually gave Barty a quick look, and afterwards puts the corpse, waits for to Barty put the corpse down with the telekinesis, and then puts the head next to it. Then afterwards, he whips out these two. He's had these incense for ages, and he's just like, "I've always wanted to do this," and then pulls out the incense from each side and snaps them so that they light up at the same time, because he needs burning incense to speak with the dead. So as he does, the incantation goes out, and the words start flowing through, and waits until the magic starts to permeate. And then he aims it at the head because the body isn't going to do shit. So casts the spell out there and does speak with dead work.
I could be really harsh and go, his vocal cords have been cut. No, he can't speak. But all right, yes.
Oh
Well,
no, it does. It doesn't need vocal cords to speak.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, irrespective of that, he's So he's. What's the deal? Is you can only answer yes, no questions. Is it? Answers will usually be brief, cryptic, or repetitive. and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you're hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy, which it will. This spell doesn't return the creature's soul to its body. This corpse can be learned. Okay, so you cast this spell, and the hand of the sort of body starts twitching, and the eyes of the severed head open, and it looks straight at you.
Now, this is the bit I'm not very good at. I can speak and get people to talk, but I can't actually get them to say things that I want them to say, which is the answer. So this is where Arno comes in very handy. Arno, I need you to be their friend. He just looks at the halfling and he's like, Arno must be looking at him very confused. So at this point, now this is where the complication happens, because I don't know how you're going to rule this. But does a corpse, therefore, when using Speak with Dead, be influenced by charm? If so, is it succeed or fail?
He's going to try and charm a corpse?
Yes, into thinking that he's a friend, so he'll tell the truth. Because Gavin knows this very well.
Oh my god.
Can undead be charmed? Let me just check here.
Because Arno's gonna cast suggestion to say that we're your friends, so you should tell us everything. One sec. He's gonna be at the highest level because he's a warlock.
It says some do have immunities like charm, like ghouls and ghasts, skeletons and zombies. I guess he's kind of a zombie.
Yeah.
Can you charm an undead? Seems the answer is yes. Probably it's a case of by case basis under the conditions of immunities.
Because I would argue based on his previous stats.
Allegedly, I'm just googling things at the minute, and I know if anybody's watching this, they might be shouting at us now. But there's no hidden rule that renders undead immune to charm in general. There are only specific rules for specific undead creatures. I guess then. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Because Arno's going to cast it. He's going to cast suggestion. And he's going to say, we're your friends. You can trust us.
Okay, so suggest course of activity in a sentence. Influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. Worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Okay. Right, so that's the thing. He knows you're his enemies, and you're going to say he's your friend, which doesn't sound reasonable to me, so I need to word it in a way. Think about asking creatures to stab itself, throw itself into a spear, and move itself, or do anything other obviously harmful can activate its spell. Target must make a wisdom saving throw on a failed save that pursues the course of action. Okay.
Arno's going to word it like this. We didn't mean for you to get killed. We're also under the service of Lord Kiamat. So, which also reports, and therefore Lady Tiamat. And we need to help her. So help us. Help her.
I think you're going to have to roll deception on that, see if he believes you or not.
That's Arno's best skill! I love it. Right. Deception.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
There you go. Okay. Arno sort of spins this very elaborate and very persuasive sort of lie to the person you've literally just, seen let be decapitated. And he, I guess he has to roll this DC. So what is it, DC 22? Do you have to beat a DC 22 on this? I'm just going to roll a d20. Yes. If he gets a crit, he passes. If he doesn't, then he
that's it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay, so yeah, he's just sort of he's obviously he can't say loads, but he's sort of I guess within him he believes that you are friendly and not foe.
Brilliant. Right. So we looked at Arno would then look at everybody else and he would say, I think we may have gotten his trust. So let us ask our questions and be done with it. We have, and then Gadden would turn and say, so we have 10. We've got how many questions?
5. You got 5 questions.
5. We have 5 questions. So let's oh shit, we can't. And the questions have to be he can answer them any way he wants, basically, but they're usually brief, cryptic, and repetitive. Okay. So then Gadden immediately turns and says, did you kill lots of people in the sanctuary?
Yes.
Good. Barty, do you have a question? There's 4 left.
I was momentarily distracted.
You're asking the undead if he's got 4. You've got 4 questions to ask. You've got 4 questions left. They ask the severed head of Zavros.
I can't think of any at this moment.
I've got them. I'll ask the other ones.
Got them.
Yeah. How many spies are there inside the temple?
1.
Is that just you?
Yes.
Did you steal many things?
Yes.
Have you told your master everything?
Yes. As you say the last question, the sort of kind of hand that's sort of moving goes numb and the eyes close.
Okay. No more questions. I can do it again, but I don't think he'll believe us the next time around.
That's okay. I'll get to work. And Barty puts his hand in his pocket, rummages around for a minute, and pulls out a tiny silver cage, and he'll quickly start making a few sort of like symbols and saying a few incantations. And after like a few seconds, you probably just see like a glow start to emanate from the body, and the glow gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and this silver cage starts to glow as well, and the body starts to glow less and less as the cage gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And by the very end of it, it's only the cage shining, and like everything else is like calmed down again. And Barty just like slips the cage back into his pocket and just goes, "We'll be able to ask him some more questions in the future. He won't be able to lie, but only I will know the answer."
Excellent.
We can't tell
that's
the
such
High
a.
Paladin. We can't tell Lance. They won't understand.
That's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Is Niasil with you, by the way?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is.
Niasil sort of looks at this, and obviously, again, he's lawful good. He's a paladin. He's looking at the fact that you've talked to the dead. He's then seeing Barty do something with the body, and he sort of kind of looks confused, and he looks to he sort of says he's trying to reason with himself. He's like, I know that sometimes we have to do what we need to do to get answers for the greater good. But what the fuck was that? And he sort of points at Barty and says, "What have you done with that creature's soul?"
Knowing that look, because he is also lawful good, he looks at Gadden looks at Niasil and he says, I promise you, my good friend, that we do what we must for the greater good. And what we just did there is ensure that we could continue to do the greatest good possible by keeping an enemy like him never to be released again.
You will explain to me right now what you have done.
It is very simple. I'll try and explain it in a manner that you can understand. I've taken the soul of Zavros so that his general, Ferembor, cannot revive him by using any means. His soul still exists in this world. I possess it. And because of that, that body will remain inert. He has no other vessels. And we can also get information as and when we require it.
And when we're done with his soul?
Destroy it.
Well, we will have to destroy it. It will be released. I think we should use the soul within an inch of its resources allow, and then, I don't know, bury it in a pit somewhere.
I was going to say, Lord Bahamut would love to serve justice upon it, or would you rather? You know, this is kind of like an early penance for his misdeeds and crimes against Freya and its denizens.
Right, sorry, say that again? What you're saying?
Oh, like, it would be great to use this as an early punishment, you know, for his crimes against Freya and the misdeeds against his denizens. No?
He sort of try and zens himself. You can sort of kind of feel a bit of rage bubbling up behind, but he sort of pushes it back down and closes his eyes and opens them again and sort of nods his head and says, "For the greater good, for Freya."
For the greater good.
Good. Yes.
You will be unfortunately you will have to get comfortable with some of these decisions, because when it comes to push and shove, they will shove us harder, and they have done. They've made us do horrible things already, just so that we can rescue the likes of Gregor, who you now inhabit. And we've had to play hardball, so time for us to do a little bit of hardball back, and this is one of them. So I'm happy to do some counseling with you on this. I was once a young acolyte, feeling and wrestling with the good and evil and the greater good. Maybe in time we'll change that. And you'll even learn to wield it so that everybody benefits. Speaking of which, everybody else benefiting from things, that stench is getting worse by the second. So, does it affect anything, Barty, if we just incinerate the corpse?
No, it is useless now.
Perfect, great. In that case, without too much, he casts Firebolt on it.
Yeah, the body just sort of catches fire and goes up in a puff of smoke. Zavros, bar his captured, his entombed soul is no more.
But he's got items, hasn't he, that's left around? That have survived it, because magic can't just destroy everything. He's got gear and stuff.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll sort of figure out what he's got, for next time and stuff. But I think that's a good sort of ending point.
Yes,
yeah. Nice one, chaps.
Yeah.
Good work. Okay, we'll leave it there unless anybody has anything else they want to sort of say or do before we finish.
Niasil would like to go to Seren and say smashing. Actually, I was gonna say, if you want to break from Niasil as well, we're between us lot, we can figure out a way to just like direct it. But I think Conrad's already given a really good template.
Yeah, well, I think at times I think it's just a good thing to have. Like I said, using the fact that he's a do-gooder and he has a rage monster and he really, really super hates anything that relates to the corruption. So I think having that and being able him to sort of burst out now and again to sort of cause some issues is quite a good sort
It's quite fun and refreshing.
Yeah. So it's quite good. So
it really pushes the lawful good into a whole new context, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For the greater good of Sanford.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. We will leave it there then. Nice one, chaps. For tonight, I've been Matt Geary. With me has been Michael as Tharavel Eldon.
Night, everyone.
We have Jace as Brother Garden.
I've also been Arnold Jekyll.
Lecky as Brother Garden.
If you've got access to a soul, then do the good thing and recycle.
Mark as Lance.
You can tell that Gregor was a middle child. Everyone keeps forgetting about him.
Oh!
And Vic as Saren Sanguine.
I don't want to be a hag.
Night